and welcome to the shed. Me, Trevor, here. It is a new dawn for the Buffalo Bills. It's Super Bowl weekend. Um, it's no NFL game in Ireland. So I said before the season ends altogether, I'll do one last video. I wasn't sure the last time would this be the last time I come out here and do one for a while or not, but I couldn't leave it in such a way where I was a bit of a whinge about the way we lost and what happened with Sean McDermott and not continue or finish up about Joe Brady's new future as the head coach of Buffalo Bills and what we have to look forward to, or what have we to look forward to. So we'll have a go tonight. This is the last one until the summer at least, or well, until the draft, and then we'll take it from there. As I said before, I don't know if I'm going to continue doing them. Hopefully, I will, but it just take time, and I've noticed I've had a lot more time without them. There's a lot of stuff going on here as well, but we'll see. But anyway, welcome along to the show. It's the 4th of February. January's gone already. I don't know where that month is gone, no more than where time is going. And we're at Super Bowl weekend. Am I going to spend long on it? No. What's the show about tonight? Basically, the hiring of Joe Brady as our head coach. What we have to look forward to. What am I afraid of? What are my fears? What could be the possibilities? And bits and pieces besides. Also, as I said, there's no NFL game in Ireland for this year. I'll just talk a bit about that. And I want to talk a bit about Brandon Beane's comments he made during the week, but it will tie in with Joe Brady. So after the divisional round, I did a video. I was pretty annoyed. I've watched a lot of media. I've watched a lot of podcasts, listened to them, watched YouTube videos. And they were on about the Buffalo Bills and how they lost. And at the time, and I still haven't changed my opinion, yes, it wasn't the best game by the Buffalo Bills, but it was a refereeing decision that has been shown up numerous times since was incorrect. And I can't say the field goal would have been kicked afterwards or we would have scored a touchdown or what would happen. But what my point was, we should have been in that situation where we had the opportunity to do that, and we didn't. And then straight after that, within 48 hours, Sean McDermott was sacked. And that was pretty raw because the guy mightn't have been the guy to get the Bills to a Super Bowl so to date, or probably won't now anyway. But he did not get hammered in the AFC Championship game last year. It was a refereeing decisions that cost the Bills the game, and it went to the point where there was a rule brought in about marking the ball, and technology was brought into the game. And then this year, his team was knocked out again to a refereeing decision where they missed a catch and called it an interception, and it changed the game in overtime, and we were out. And right now, I'm at the point where these things happen. So I'm not angry anymore. I get on with it. We learn from it and we move on. You can't bring anger with you. It doesn't help. I've vented it. It's out of my way. It's out of my system, and I'm moving on. So they went into a process then about head coaches and looking for a head coach and a replacement for Sean McDermott. They interviewed Joe Brady and they interviewed many others, and I was listening to a lot of podcasts and very good ones. If any are watching, please tune in to Nickel City Mafia, Mike Thornton, Jake Podger, two of my very, very good friends. They do an absolute amazing show on the weekend, and they do one in midweek, and they have Sean Kula and other guys on, and really insightful stuff and really, really good stuff. There's no BS out of them. They take everything with a level grain, and what's good is good and what's not is not, and that's what I like about it. But I was listening to them guys, and Brian Dable was one of the names they mentioned, and there was a few others. But for me, nothing really stood out. And I looked at the head coaching moves this year, and there's a lot of teams that have made big, big changes. Like the Ravens moved on from John Harbaugh, and I know he's gone to the Giants, but they've had him for so long, and they've been successful to a point for so long that their new head coach could come in and take them on because they have a roster, but also could come in and be a Jared Mayo. And that's my fear for, as not poking at the Patriots, but that's my fear um, for the Bills. And then you look at Pittsburgh, and they brought in Mike McCarthy, an experienced coach, but by the looks of it, nobody wants him. Mike Tomlin is gone. Again, a huge, successful era, gone. And you look at the Buffalo Bills. Sean McDermott, he got wiped out in the AFC Championship game last year, if he got wiped out in the divisional round this year, hands up, you go, fair enough, buddy, you had your chance, bye bye. But he didn't. The owner came out and said it was a catch, the call was wrong, and then sacked him. The excuses given were absolutely BS, to the highest degree of BS. And I'm not here to argue or cause trouble in my own organization or anything like that. I'm just saying what I see. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. I'm also an NFL fan. Brandon Beane is a guy who I think if Sean McDermott got the can, he should have got the can. Now, there's loads of stories coming out, and like everything else, some shine good lights on Brandon Beane, some shine bad lights on Brandon Beane. Some shine good lights on Sean McDermott and bad lights on Sean McDermott. And you don't know what's true or what's not. And I'm over here in Ireland, so I'm just picking pieces and going through it. But the two of them are connected, GM and head coach. And the GM gets a promotion and the head coach gets the road from the owner's mouth that it was a catch, you know. So anyway, uh, on I think it was the Tuesday of last week, I listened to the Nickel City Mafia podcast or YouTube show, and they were brilliant. And they went through all the coaches that was done so far and all the guys that they wanted in, and they were waiting for the Seattle Kubiak, the offensive coach. I think he's now going to be the Raiders head coach. Would he get an interview? Would he be the guy? And so on and so forth. And then they dropped the bomb, the Buffalo Bills, that Joe Brady was going to be our head coach. And to be honest, it kind of shocked me because he wouldn't be a guy that I would put in. And the guy, and it's nothing to do with Joe Brady, but as in Joe Brady, but if you sack Sean McDermott, then you should clean house and start fresh. But they didn't. Brandon Beane and Terry Pagula and the guys decided to go for Joe Brady. I have no trust in any of them, to be honest. The only one I trust is Josh Allen. And if Josh Allen is happy with Joe Brady, and time will tell, then I'm happy with Joe Brady. He looks to be happy with Joe Brady, so I'm going to go with that. Since that, Joe Brady's brought in offensive coach Pete Carmichael and defensive coach Jim Leonard. And these are guys with experience. Hopefully, they'll have the play calling. Hopefully, for both sides, they will change the Buffalo Bills game a bit. But in saying that, if we do not get a wide receiver of note to stretch the field, uh, open up the field, give our other wide receivers and tight ends a better chance, give our running back a better chance because they're afraid of the wide receiver, uh, we're going to be playing the same ball as we did the last 2 years. And I loved the ball we played 2 years ago because it was everybody eats and nobody was ready for it. But these teams cop on to what you do so quick, and they learn things so quick that everybody eats doesn't work 2 years in a row. So you have to find a way around. And we were pretty, you know, stuck with that. So anyway, what do I say about Joe Brady? So Joe Brady, I wish you the very best of luck. You have 100% support from here, from the shed. Uh, I ain't going to go against what my organization has decided. I'm a fan. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. I love the Bills, and I support you, Joe. But I will be honest. If you do well, you do well, and I will praise. And if you do bad, I will say. The other thing I'll say about it is, um, and Mike Thornton said it on his podcast, is in a year's time, if we're going into Super Bowl weekend and we're playing in the Super Bowl, I would be the first man to stand up, no more than he said it, to say my doubts were wrong. And I hope that is the case because we have the best quarterback in the NFL. Lots of people are lining up to shoot at him right now, and it's wrong. Um, what that man has done for this organization and for the NFL is second to none. And, you know, I want him to win a Super Bowl for him and for the Buffalo Bills, and then for me as a fan, not for me as a fan for him. Josh Allen deserves it 110%. So I hope this works, and I hope they get the pieces we need, and that we can click and do it. And like, I'm not being smart, and I'll talk about Super Bowl in a few minutes. In my eyes, the Patriots they might win it, but they're crap. They had 21-point lead against us in their home ground, and they blew it. And I'm 100% convinced if we had them in the AFC Championship game in Foxborough, I couldn't care less where it was, we'd have beaten them. But we weren't there. We weren't good enough. So good luck to the Patriots this weekend, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But they are there, and it shows you that they can get there with a bit of to and fro and getting guys who are hungry and who want to play and who want to put it on the line. What do we need to get there? Well, everyone knows we need a quality number one wide receiver. And whether we're going to find that in the draft or whether we're going to find it with trades, I don't know. We also need our defense needs wrecking men, and I don't say man, I say men, because we need to be smashing offensive lines and getting to quarterbacks, and we're not doing it. We had Joey Bosa this year. I know it was a 1 year contract, and it was a big year for him as much as it was a big year for us. He did not perform in my eyes. What he was supposed to be isn't what we got. We He was a Von Miller type, but didn't deliver in the ways we had hoped. And we need one or two of them this year again, whether it be in the draft or whether we trade. That Larry Ogunjobi, no disrespect, that was a flop. Um, and that's at Brandon Beane's feet. Now, Michael Hoyt, I know he missed 6 games, but when he played, he looked to be the business, but he unfortunately got injured. I ain't going to say a bad thing about Michael Hoyt, um, because other than he was suspended for 6 games, but the way he was playing, he looked to be a good signing. He looked to be hungry, and hopefully he'll come back next year. We have him, I think, for 3 years, unless they trade or cancel the contract or whatever. I don't know. But we look to have him, and if he can come back and be that player, then that's a good signing. But Joey Bosa, I think was a flop. Uh, Michael Hoyt was a flop. Not Michael Hoyt. Larry Ogunjobi was a flop. Uh, Not for me. Um, we need men that'll get in there. Like Ed Oliver was a great comeback. We missed Ed Oliver an awful lot, but we need another one or two types of Ed Oliver in different positions. And hopefully, Jim Leonard will provide that and set us up that our defense is frightening. Because you look at the Seattle Seahawks, you also look at the Patriots defense, you look at the Broncos defense, uh, the Rams to a point, but the Rams had Matthew Stafford and Puka Nakua and Devontae Adams, so their defense wasn't their main thing. But them 3 teams that were in the AFC and NFC championship game, Seahawks are frightening defense. The Broncos and the Patriots had 2 very good defenses, and we need to get up there if we're going to compete for a Super Bowl. Yes, your quarterback and the offense will get you the scores, but you won't win a game if you don't have a defense that can stop the other team, and we have to get there as well. So that's my thoughts on Joe Brady. Then, yeah, as I say, I'm not very excited about it, but I'm not doom and gloom. I'm not going to be doom and gloom. I'm going to support him 100%. And as I said earlier, if we're in a Super Bowl this time next year, and I can come on here and say, well, I'm glad I was wrong. That's what I want to be able to say. Now, we move on to Brandon Beane. So Brandon Beane seems to be very pumped up about all this because in an interview there during the week, a couple of days ago, he said, F the outside. It's about the right selection for this team. And if we win, they will love it. And there is a huge amount of pressure on Brandon Beane. Uh, he has to get his draft picks right this year. He has to get his trades right this year, and he has to get the cap right this year. I think the cap's gone up to 305 million, so that should hopefully free up some money for us to get some players in. I know we're going to be very, very tight on the cap. We were last year, and there might have been a few wheeling and dealing deals to be done. But for me, uh, he is one guy that has to answer if things don't go well next year. And he should have answered this year if Sean McDermott was answering, and he didn't, and he got a promotion. Now, I have heard rumours where Sean McDermott wasn't happy, and the rift between the two of them got so big that it was unfixable. But we don't know, and it's only speculation. And I've heard 1,000 different stories, and maybe 1,000 of them are wrong. What I do know is uh, he has to deliver something like 2 Pro Bowlers from the draft since 2018 compared to all the other teams is shocking, to be honest. And he from his draft picks, this is now, and he has to deliver something. Now I don't doubt he won't work hard for it, but if he gets the team to an AFC Championship game next year and we fall short, or again to a divisional round, Joe Brady shouldn't fall on the sword. It should be him that falls on the sword if there's someone to fall. And uh, I again uh, will support Brandon Beane because he's a Buffalo Bills GM for the year. But the jury's out. No more than the jury's out on Joe Brady, the jury's out on him as well. But again, if we're in a Super Bowl, I'll be the first one to come on and say I'm glad that they went that way. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the Buffalo Bills. Now, why I'm so positive is I trust Josh Allen. If Josh Allen is happy, Josh Allen is the man. He's the only one in that organization I trust because he's the reason I'm in here as a Bills fan. It's him I saw, it's him I followed, it's him I want to follow. And I am a Buffalo Bills fan because of Josh Allen. And as you can see, most of this shit around here is with Josh Allen. And if he is the guy, if he's happy with Joe Brady, I'm 100% happy with Joe Brady. So now we move on to the Super Bowl weekend. And I ain't going to stay long on this. It's the Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots. Am I going to watch it? Yes. Am I as excited for it as I am for other Super Bowls? No. Seattle Seahawks have played very, very good football. Sam Darnold has proved everyone wrong. Jackson Smith and Jigby and Cooper Kupp are setting the world alight, and they are a very good team and they're a very, very good defense. The New England Patriots. This is taking away the bias that I am a Bills fan against the Patriots, but they bet a bad Chargers team. They bet a Houston Texans team that if you put me in, I couldn't throw any worse than CJ Stroud did that day. And they bet a backup quarterback with snow came in Denver. I don't take that away. They did their job. Now they could go out and ball out on Sunday, and anything is possible. Drake May is a very, very good quarterback, and I'm not taking anything away from Drake May. And Mike Vrabel is a very astute head coach. Everyone has the Seahawks favorites. I hope the Seahawks win because I'm a Bills fan, and I have no real love for the Patriots. And like I'm a fan, so what do you expect me to say? But I'm not going to say the Seahawks are nailed on. Vrabel played under Belichick, won 3 Super Bowls under Belichick. Is a very, very good head coach. Ain't going to go in there and be stupid and naive and get wiped out. Not saying it won't happen, but I don't see it happen. I do see the Seahawks winning, and I hope they do. But like anything is possible. So go Seahawks. And then finally, the last thing I'm going to talk about tonight is the NFL announced their international games for this year, and There's 3 in London. There's Munich. There's Paris for the first time. I think the New Orleans Saints are going to be the home team there. There's Melbourne. The Rams are going to be the home team there. There's Mexico. There's Brazil. And am I missing one? Munich and Madrid. And Madrid is back again. So there's no Irish game. Am I surprised? I'm not, no, because it would. I don't think there'll ever be a game here every year. For the simple fact is, we have a 5 million population approximately in the country, and you will get overseas people to come to the game, but to fill an 80,000-seater stadium every year, no matter what the teams are, when a sport that you've only a limited amount of people to follow. You take England, the United Kingdom, they have nearly 60 million people. You go to Germany, huge amount. Paris, France, huge country. Spain, huge country. We are the small country. Yes, I hope it comes here again. I hope it's here in 2 or 3 years' time. I think every 3 to 5 years you will fill the stadium, but every year you won't. And also, I want the All Ireland Championship put back to where the All Ireland football final is the third Sunday of September, where it should be. I'm a Gaelic football fan. That's my sport. That's my culture. That's my country, and that should be on there. Crow Park and the GAA have gone too far into squashing it all together so that they can fill Crow Park with other stuff. Crow Park is for the GAA, and firstly, and should be for the GAA. And in September, there should be an All Ireland football final on the third Sunday, like there always was, and the All Ireland hurling final on the first Sunday, like it always was. And that's just my thoughts on it. But so if that game was on every year and the NFL were dictating to Ireland when the game would be, and if they were moving into that window, I wouldn't be in favour of it. Where now the GA, and I'm hoping they will move the calendar back to the way it was, where we have a summer where we can go watch our counties play, have breaks between the games, so the players can recover like they deserve to, and then on the third Sunday of September, best 2 teams in Ireland are playing for the All Ireland Championship, which we all want to see and can enjoy. But that is a different conversation for a different day. Right now, there's no NFL game in Ireland for 2026. And finally, this is my last video for the season. As I said in the start, thank you very much all for watching. It's been, for me, a different season to others. Leave out the Buffalo Bills football just for myself. A lot of things have happened here, and life happens and so on. But I'm hoping to try out, work on a few things on the off season. And if I do, I'll do videos next year or coming. I'll do them 1 or 2 around the draft, before the draft and after the draft, see who we get and what the other teams got, and then begin at the beginning of July, or the end of July, sorry, when preseason is starting, kick off then again. I see over in San Francisco this week, it's brilliant to see Gaelic Gridiron is over there, Jimmy English and his gang, and of course Pro Football Ireland with Michael McQuaid, Mark Hogan, Jason Hayes. It's great to see them over there as well. They're flying the flag, both of them for Ireland, at the Super Bowl, and fair play and well done, and keep it going. The NFL is a strong sport here in Ireland. It's grown. It'll grow to a point. Uh, it'll always be behind Gaelic football, hurling, soccer, rugby, but it's becoming one of the major sports here to watch and support. So it's great. So let it keep going. And that's it, folks. I do want to mention, and I've mentioned them already, 2 guys, Mike Thornton and Jake Podger. They're 2 of my best friends on this. I wish I knew them in actual person, but I've been in contact with them for 4 years, and support them, please. If you're watching my videos, please go and give them a follow. They are brilliant. Nickel City Mafia is their channel. It's on YouTube. They have Sean Cool on it. They have different guys, and Sean's a gentleman as well. But Mike and Jake are the 2 guys. Mike set it up, and Jake, well, both of them set it up. But it is an amazing show. Please go and watch them. Please support them. For yourselves, thank you very much for your support and your following. As always, Stay safe, stay good, stay healthy, stay happy, be good, do good,